On this episode of O'Fallon Matters, learn about a new program to help police fight crime, see how leadership students improve local streams, and get a behind-the-scenes tour of O'Fallon's communications team. All this and more next on O'Fallon Matters. Welcome to this episode of O'Fallon Matters. Our first story is about those who honor their heritage by sharing their past. Let's take a trip down memory road with highlights from a special family reunion.
O'Fallon is one of the best and safest places to live in the country. Our residents have discovered that O'Fallon is a fantastic place to work, live, and play. How we got here is a tale of entrepreneurship and of business leaders who wore many hats. And it all started with German immigrant Nicholas Krekel. In fact, Nicholas was O'Fallon's first resident and first retailer in 1856, and in 1857 the first postmaster and first railroad agent as well. He operated his store out of his house, the first home built in O'Fallon. He settled here because his older brother, Judge Arnold Krekel, who also owned a newspaper, purchased land, plotted a town, and donated some of the property for the new railroad line. In fact, Arnold Krekel was the president of the 1865 Missouri Constitutional Convention and signed the Missouri Emancipation Proclamation. Over the years, the descendants of Nicholas and Arnold spread their seeds throughout O'Fallon and Missouri, creating a family history that's lived on throughout the years. From fire chiefs to mayors, their legacy continued in O'Fallon. Though times have changed, the original Krekel House is still standing today, and the city of O'Fallon even has a new civic center named in honor of the Krekels. And the first ever event held in this new building was a Krekel family reunion.
Well, I think it's a testimony to the togetherness that exists in our family.
Oh my gosh, it has been totally amazing. I didn't know this many descendants were actually from the area. I mean, we've had them travel very far, Branson, Missouri. They've come up from Lake of the Ozarks.
During the reunion, families took photos in front of the old Krekel House. They even played Krekel family trivia. But it was the family stories that took center stage.
Well, we talk about the old days, certainly, and reminisce about some of the things we did as kids here in O'Fallon. And I think that primarily we look back at our heritage and enjoy the fact that our family had something rather significant to do with what exists in O'Fallon today. When I grew up here, there was less than 1,000 people living in O'Fallon.
Krekel descendants enjoyed learning more about their family's storied history, and they also were able to continue a connection that has stayed strong throughout the years.
Well, everybody wants to know their heritage, where they came from, who they're related to. Do I have a cousin in Springfield, Missouri? Yes, you do. Do you have a cousin in Jeff City? I mean, it's so great when you can reach out to family and know. And today was a spectacular turnout. I mean, there was over 160 people in there today. We're expecting numbers of like 80, 90. There was 160 in there. It was spectacular.
It's cool to kind of get the history behind it because we know just as much as what we kind of research. So it's great to have people just kind of teaching it to us, the ones that know a lot more than I do, and just kind of listening to exactly how far the reach has been just from coming to O'Fallon and what we've done since, and it's really cool.
All of O'Fallon's storied history came directly from the decisions that Judge Arnold Krekel made over 100 years ago. He would be proud of what his family has accomplished, and he would be proud of what O'Fallon stands for today. You can find out more information on the Krekel family history by going to stcharlescountyhistory.org or o'fallon.mo.us.
If you have a surveillance camera on your property, our police could use your help. OFallonTV's Brett Fickus is here to explain how your camera can help us fight crime.
Security cameras are practically ubiquitous now, a common sight at businesses and residences throughout O'Fallon. These are powerful devices that can help prevent crime from taking place, or help law enforcement identify and capture criminals after the fact. That's why the O'Fallon Police Department is launching a new residential camera program that lets you register your camera with our officers, greatly increasing our law enforcement capabilities.
The O'Fallon Police Department's always been committed to keeping O'Fallon safe, and we're always looking for partnerships with the community to do that. Fighting crime and solving crime is not strictly a law enforcement function. Without community involvement, whether it be witnesses or victims cooperating with us, we wouldn't be able to solve a lot of things. So the new residential surveillance program is just another way that we've expanded our relationship with our community on fighting crime and preventing crime.
Here's how the program works. First, security camera owners can go to www.ofallon.mo.us/PD, where they'll see a link to the residential camera program. Clicking on that link will take you to a short registration form that includes key information about the areas covered by your security camera. Once you've filled it out, you're done, and our officers will be able to contact you if they believe viewing your security camera footage will assist them in an investigation.
This program can solve a myriad of crimes. It could be something simple as somebody going into a garage and stealing something, or breaking into a car, or if we have a violent crime or encounter in a certain area, this will help our investigators and the officers who are first there try to identify a suspect and get that information out as quick as we can to other law enforcement.
In a perfect world, our officers will never need to contact you. But if a crime does occur, your security camera could be instrumental in solving the case. If you're interested in participating in the residential camera program, head online and get registered. And if you have any questions about the program, feel free to contact our non-emergency phone line at 636-240-3200.
Operation O-Town Creek Clean was a smashing success, thanks to the dedication of leadership students from Fort Zumwalt South. Joe Meyer is here with more.
On a chilly morning in November, a group of dedicated volunteers gathered for a purpose. Students from Fort Zumwalt South High School's leadership class partnered with the City of O'Fallon for the first ever completely student-led Creek Clean. And planning for Operation O-Town Creek Clean started all the way back in August.
In class this semester, when I told the kids what we were planning on doing, that Megan and I had talked, and they're all looking at me and they really weren't sure what a creek clean was.
Our person should be like, hey. At the beginning, we didn't think we were going to be able to pull it off because it was pretty much a group of random kids that came together for a class, and we were like, none of us know each other. How are we going to get something like this done? This is huge. The whole community is going to know about it.
After a few weeks of planning, students put their minds together to create a logo, a fun video PSA for YouTube, and press releases sent to the community. Now, Operation O-Town was planned with the help of O'Fallon Volunteer Coordinator Megan Taylor.
I'm going to give Megan a lot of credit because Megan got us organized. Megan would give us sheets and say, you need to have this done by then, this done by then. And the kids would just jump in, and they did a really good job of staying focused on the project and meeting all their deadlines and all their goals. So I think the real credit goes to the kids because they made it happen.
Students and their army of volunteers arrived at 4 different creeks for cleaning.
So we got in the creek around 9 o'clock after we did our safety speech, and then we went in and we cleaned up some trash around the banks and also in the creek. And then we got to an end point and we dropped off some trash there, and then we came back and cleaned the creeks and really enhanced the O'Fallon community.
After the students accomplished their mission, they all gathered for a celebration with barbecue and music. Operation O-Town was successful, but this was more than just a creek clean.
These students have learned so much, whether they realize it or not, from event planning to critical thinking skills, advertising, public relations, communication, budgeting, really anything that you would need to have to take with you into the workforce. These students have had the opportunity to have hands-on experience and learn that through this project.
We learn how to be better leaders because this is a leadership class. We learn how to organize a really big thing. A lot of people, there's about 200 volunteers that came out. So it's a really big learning experience for all of us, especially because we're in high school and it was a lot to learn from.
Congratulations to the leadership class of Fort Zumwalt South for accomplishing their mission. And thank you for helping make O'Fallon's natural streams clean again.
I think it's just amazing to see the city of O'Fallon working with the kids of Fort Zumwalt South and everybody coming together and accomplishing a common goal. And I think it taught the kids that they could be leaders and followers at the same time. I think it's just great to show the world how good kids are. You hear so much negativity about teenagers today. They have their face in the phone all the time. They don't care about anybody else. These kids have just proven that completely wrong.
From city festivals, municipal updates, and governmental meetings, this city department helps you stay informed about your community.
When you flip through the pages of the O'Fallon Parks and Rec Guide to find the perfect event for your family, or watch a short video on local businesses through the O'Fallon Business Map and Directory, you're seeing the work of O'Fallon's Communications Department. In fact, this department works through a variety of media sources to ensure that O'Fallon residents like you can stay up to date on everything happening in your city.
Our mission statement is really to be the public face and the public relations arm for the city and really reach out to our residents as much as possible and give them a glimpse into what the city's doing. It's our job to let them see into City Hall, understand what's going on, and then also just make them aware of all the great things going on around O'Fallon.
The quarterly city newsletter and Parks and Rec Guide continue to be a great way to learn about your city. These publications, which can also be viewed on the city's website, include news from the mayor, information about events, and important updates on public works projects. Mailed to every household in O'Fallon, the combined newsletter and Parks and Rec Guide is an invaluable resource for residents. The Communications Department also develops and maintains a number of websites, each of which offers a wealth of information to residents. From the Parks and Rec Department website, which is full of great events and festivals coming up in our city, to Select O'Fallon, which is the perfect resource for businesses seeking to relocate to our community. Our goal is to ensure everything you'd like to know about your community is just a mouse click away.
Our department produces 6 websites. We try to keep information as up to date as possible, working with other departments, making sure residents have the latest information available.
Videos, like the one you're watching now, are also produced by our Communications Department for OFallonTV, the City of O'Fallon's 24-hour government access cable station. The mission of OFallonTV is to inform and educate viewers about city operations, programs, services, and events that make O'Fallon such a great place to live. With 5 flagship television shows, you can step inside local businesses, see how organizations are making a difference in our community, and find out what's coming up in our parks. The channel also airs government meetings and workshops from the O'Fallon City Council, as well as all of our city commissions and boards. You can watch OFallonTV programming on Digital Charter Channel 991 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. You can also watch OFallonTV's original programming live and on demand at the city's website, as well as on YouTube at www.youtube.com/OFallonTV.
Whenever we have programming that reaches a lot of people, it's very satisfying, not only for our team, but the city as a whole, because anything we can do to help residents out or help staff out is a big plus for the entire organization and the community.
A new addition to the Communications Department is our Facebook page, which has quickly become our quickest way to get the word out about important information.
We've had our Facebook page now for just a little bit over a year. And we started off slow and we weren't really sure what kind of response we would have, but our response has been amazing. We've probably grown over 150% in just the last 6 months. Our videos are getting great response, and anytime we have something major going on in the city, we're able to post that very quick, and we've had amazing response to those posts.
No matter how you'd like to get news about your hometown, O'Fallon's Communications Department has put together a variety of sources that will quickly get you up to date. This department works tirelessly in helping you get the most out of everything our community has to offer.
It's such an honor to come to work with such creative and intelligent people who really take their job seriously. I joke with my boss that, I'm not the one that they need, it's the people that work for me that really count here and make the big difference, and it's because they're so great and so talented and they care so much about what they do.
Next on O'Fallon Matters, find out how paramedics are doubling down on disaster preparedness with new emergency vehicles.
Disaster can strike our region at any time. From natural disasters to man-made catastrophes, it's important that county first responders are prepared. And now, St. Charles County paramedics have 2 new assets ready to roll in the event of large-scale incidents: a 22-passenger ambubus and a multifunctional major incident response unit. Both vehicles are fully outfitted and ready to respond to incidents in the St. Louis region and beyond.
As the district prepares for the future and looking at the different possibilities that could happen in our county and in our region, we always look at ways to improve the service and improve how we handle large-scale incidents such as mass casualty patient incidents, hazardous materials, large fires, anytime that there's multiple patients or potential for multiple patients, we want to be ready to take care of them. So the RV is set up for multiple different things. It can be used in a disaster setting such as a tornado where an area gets destroyed. We can pull this in and provide care quickly to the community. You know, if they need simple things like Band-Aids, well checks, they've been working on their stuff all day at their house, they can come in here, get a real quick well check, get out of the weather, have some heat, some cooling, whatever's needed without really taking them to the hospital, going past that step to where they don't have to go to the hospital. It just gives them somewhere quicker and closer to go. The bus is also made to transport multiple patients. We can transport 12 people laying down with another 10 to 12 seated, depending on the situation. So if we had to evacuate a hospital, a nursing home, large accidents, school buses, we can transport multiple people at once while we keep regular ambulances in service to handle the rest of the county as well.
These state-of-the-art buses are staffed with paramedics trained specifically for incident response.
Depending on the situation and the severity, we've got a special group of paramedics that are medical specialists with urban search and rescue. They're all trained to operate in the bus and the RV. Typically, it takes about 4 to run either one of them. Depending on the situation, the severity of the patients, we can add more resources as we need.
Both buses will be housed in St. Charles County. The ambubus and the major incident unit will be available for incidents that occur throughout the St. Louis region and beyond, thanks to mutual aid agreements already in place. The St. Charles County Ambulance District continues to be an active participant in regional disaster planning.
With a county like St. Charles, we're growing rapidly, one of the fastest growing areas in the region. We just want to be prepared to make sure that we're taking care of the citizens that have approved taxes over the years and then support us to be able to support them. So having tools like this at the ready really helps take care of our citizens the way we need to.
For more information on these new disaster incident vehicles, you can go to www.sccad.com.
This top cop recently announced his retirement after 9 years of remarkable service to the residents of the city of O'Fallon. Let's take a look back at Chief of Police Roy Jochimsthaller's distinguished career in law enforcement.
After nearly 50 dedicated years in law enforcement, Police Chief Roy Jochimsthaller is turning in his badge. His remarkable career started as a St. Louis City police cadet in 1969. Since joining O'Fallon in 2009, the chief has overseen a department that has continuously been recognized for its excellence in keeping O'Fallon one of America's safest cities. He has overseen the growth of the department to help keep pace with the city's growth and led the development of the department's new state-of-the-art Justice Center. But for Chief Jochimsthaller, it's always been about the communities he served. Under his leadership, the department focused on community engagement and involvement.
Colonel Jochimsthaller has been very active in the community. He attended any function that was presented to him. There wasn't one that he would turn down unless he had another obligation. So he's very in tune with the needs of the community, and he brought that back to the police department.
The community involvement that the chief has done through the past 9 years, getting the community involved and making sure everybody's aware of their surroundings. You know, he's always at your coffee with the cop. He's always at all the events that the city has. To me, that's his biggest accomplishment of getting the citizens engaged and the community engaged in the great city of O'Fallon.
What was really important to me when I started out out here in O'Fallon was to continue the philosophy that I've had of community policing, and that is reaching out to the community and forming partnerships with various segments of the community, not just the business community and not just the residents, but the entire community, and kind of trying to tailor
our police service to the needs of individual customers.
Prior to his time in O'Fallon, Chief Jochimsthaler previously retired from the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department in 2009, where he achieved the rank of Lieutenant Colonel and served for 39 years. And Chief Jochimsthaler has many fond memories from his years in law enforcement.
But I've been involved in some really neat stuff, especially here in O'Fallon, but also in my previous life with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. But I've met presidents. I was in charge of all of the planning for the Pope's visit here. Some of those highlights are there. But the other things that really stick out in my mind are the people that I helped. And not only the citizens and the residents and what the dealings I had with that, but also I've had the opportunity, because of the positions I've been in, is to help some cops too.
During his 9 years in O'Fallon, the department's use of social media, both in community engagement and in soliciting residents' assistance in solving crimes, has become a model for police departments throughout the country. And the Growth of O'Fallon School Resource Officer Program has engaged students, teachers, and administrators in promoting a safer community.
I'd like to take credit for it, but it's not me. It's the officers on the street, out in the neighborhoods, and we have a very, very good police department here, because our personnel, our employees, and not only the police officers, but the civilian employees too, they're very service-oriented. To see some of the actions our officers here in O'Fallon have done over the years. I mean, they have put themselves in so many dangerous situations in helping the community, in basically saving the community.
After nearly 50 years of service, Chief Jochimsthaler is ready for a new chapter in his life.
You know, I've done this before. This is my second time in retiring. And I jokingly say, but I'm going to do it the right way this time. I'm going to do it the correct way this time. As compared to last time, when I retired from St. Louis, my wife was still working. So since that time, in the past 9 years, she has retired. And now it's time for us to do the traveling that we've talked about for many, many years. And the other thing that's very, very important to us retired guys and ladies is there's there's twin granddaughters in our life now. So I want to be like a full-time pawpaw.
Well, I just have to say congratulations. I mean, if there's anybody that's been getting 2 o'clock phone calls, this man in the St. Louis community, whether it's been St. Louis City or the city of O'Fallon, he's gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 2 o'clock phone calls, and he's responded to many of them. This is a well-earned retirement. It certainly is.
I trust him immensely, and I will miss the chief, and the new chief's going to have some big shoes to fill.
And finally, the City of O'Fallon and all of our residents would like to thank Chief Roy Jochimsthaler for his dedicated professional service, and we wish him peace and happiness in retirement.
Thanks for joining us today. If you have a good story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@o'fallon.mo.us. From all of us here at the City of O'Fallon, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And please remember, give back to your community, because O'Fallon matters to all of us.